From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. The town of Staveley, Alberta, is mourning the deaths of 3 junior hockey players killed in a crash yesterday south of Calgary.
The crash happened yesterday morning between a semi-truck hauling gravel and a car while the players were on their way to practice. Local resident Rochelle Graham was heartbroken.
My heart sank. It was just tragic.
A table with the jerseys of all 3 players and their photos are on display outside the Staveley Arena. Dale Oler from the local Ag Society says the boys were like family.
We've accepted them and they've accepted us.
Bill Graveland, the Canadian Press, Staveley, Alberta.
Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper's official portrait has been unveiled in downtown Ottawa. Today's ceremony came ahead of the 20th anniversary of the first time Harper's Conservatives were elected into government. Transport Minister Stephen McKinnon says Ottawa will not interfere with plane certification, despite a recent threat from U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump threatened to tariff Canadian-made aircraft and decertify Canadian-built planes, unless Canadian regulators greenlit Gulfstream business jets in this country. The Toronto sexual assault trial of Canadian auto parts magnate Frank Stronach has been delayed. Canadian press reporter Paolo Larigio explains why.
The defense lawyers asked for more time. They said they needed additional time to prepare because they had recently received voluminous amounts of disclosure. Disclosure is the information that the Crown has, the materials that they have, the evidence that they have, that they are obligated to turn over to the defense.
Prosecutors did not oppose the request. The case is expected back in court Thursday for an update. Toys R Us Canada has filed for creditor protection. The retailer says its work to restructure its business will include reducing its store count. Toys R Us has been closing dozens of Canadian stores over the past year, and it's been sued at least 7 times by landlords alleging non-payment of rent. Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen won't be heading to the moon this weekend.
NASA's long-awaited mission to send astronauts to the moon for the first time in 54 years is off until at least March because of leaking hydrogen fuel. The space agency announcing the news Tuesday following a critical fueling test of its giant moon rocket in Florida. At Monday's dress rehearsal, hydrogen was seeping from the base of the rocket. That went into overtime Tuesday because of all the problems. Arizona State University space professor Lori Leshin says NASA puts safety first.
The great thing about the moon is you get a launch period every month. So that if we slip to March or to April, it's no big deal.
With their moonshot launch now off until at least March 6th, the 3 Americans and 1 Canadian astronaut can now emerge from quarantine. I'm Julie Walker.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Florida Panthers forward Sam Bennett's been named to Canada's Olympic men's hockey team. He'll replace Tampa Bay center Anthony Cirelli after his on-ice injury on Sunday. The Toronto Maple Leafs look to head into the NHL's Olympic break with a 3-game Western Canadian sweep when they visit the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Also tonight in the NHL, the Ottawa Senators are looking for a 5th straight win as they visit Carolina. Toronto Raptors head coach Darko Rajakovic will coach the World Team at the 2026 NBA All-Star Game later this month. He'll be the 3rd Raptors coach to participate in the All-Star Game. And British Columbia's Minister of Economic Growth says the latest offer to keep Major League Soccer's Vancouver Whitecaps at BC Place would see the Crown Corporation running the stadium operating at net zero. Ravi Kalan says the Crown Corp currently makes about $1 to $1.5 million a year from the Whitecaps. This latest offer would return that money to the team. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.